Hello! Welcome to our tour. My name is W.G. Manning. I'm a guest today of this here cemetery, and there's a reason for that. I am not buried here. I am actually buried at the Catholic Cemetery in Mankato, Minnesota. But I resided in this fine community for many years. I was born in 1865, August 6th, in Albany, Wisconsin. Most of my proudest achievements, and I have a hard time telling you some of this stuff because I start to sound like I'm bragging. But I was elected, before I was married, by the way, I was elected to the school board here in St. James. In fact, I spent 27 years on the school board, and during my tenure on the school board, they added on to the school. I am very proud of that. I was also elected to the St. James City Council. I was a fireman, and I played in the fireman's band. I arrived at about 15 years old in 1880 with my family, and I actually took over my father's business, and my father's business was a delivery business of ice and fuel. So we went all around St. James and including into the country with horse and wagon and delivered ice and wood and coal. And in later years, fuel oil, kerosene, and so on. I took over that business in 1889, but I think maybe one of my best, I'm not sure proudest, but best stories is that shortly after 1889, we formed a group of people and we kept it very quiet, so I'm not going to name names. But the gold rush was on in Alaska. And we formed a company to go make some money. There were 12 of us originally that signed the pack and made the company. We headed to Alaska. I was with the group that went first. To give you an idea, today, in your day and age, it's a short jet ride to Alaska, but we actually had to build a ship in Seattle, Washington. We arrived in Seattle, the ship was done, and we boarded that and took it to St. Michael's, Alaska. In those days, that territory was called the Yukon, and that's where we headed. Interesting in that we knew this, we had planned it out for 8 or 10 months prior, but there was no way to get into that territory. So what we had done is purchased a broken down, and when I say broken down, I mean it's sort of folded down, riverboat. We got there and we built that riverboat back up and got on it on the Tamara River. It had an engine and it was fueled by coal. We stoked that baby up and headed on north into the Yukon. Well, we got quite a ways in there and then we ran out of coal. But we had a plan, and that plan was we were going to cut wood because we had no more coal and keep on heading north. That's just what we did. We chopped wood and we chopped wood and we chopped wood and filled that boat full of wood. The part we didn't figure on is that we took all that wood. It didn't work like coal. We made it 1 mile per load of wood. We could see the camp back there. Chopped more wood. But we kept going and actually stopped as winter set in. Now it gets pretty cold in the Yukon, but we stayed there and we mined gold. We panned gold, we mined gold. Again, by that time there was 8 of us, and we kind of went in and out of Alaska. If you'd read the paper back in those days, I'm talking long after my demise, you will see that nowhere in there can anybody tell you if we made any money or not. I'm here to tell you that we didn't lose our shirts, just both sleeves. But we had fun trying. Some of you might remember my son, Bill Manning. I actually have a story about that. Later on, as you tour, you will be going to the Posh grave over there, and Ramona, I think, is over there. But Ramona used to work for my son, Bill. And so through that relationship, I was invited to her wedding. Now, in my day, I was a teetotaler. Never did alcohol cross my lips. I was considered, I guess, an upstanding citizen of St. James. Pretty well off, I did fine. City council, school board, fireman. Heck, I even served on the Liberty bond drive for World War I on the bond drive number 3 and number 4. Never did alcohol pass my lips. In fact, I didn't know this till after I died. Ramona served gravy at her wedding, and it was kind of thick and lumpy, so they thinned it down with wine. Honestly, they never told me. But dang if that wasn't good gravy. That was awfully good gravy, I tell you. And I ate some. And today, I have a few shots every day of Ramona's gravy. It's pretty good stuff. I died in 1947. 1947. I was 87 years old. I had quite a life. I enjoyed it a lot. Most people would tell you all during my life that I wore the pants of the family. My wife, Elizabeth, is from Mankato, and that's where I'm buried. I guess you know who wore the pants. It's been great talking to you. Again, I'm W.G. Manning. Nice to meet you. Have a good tour, everybody.
Thank you.